Get ready to discover why the next Bitcoin halving in 2024 will make it the hardest asset in the world with certainty, and how it's going to change the game forever. Bitcoin halvings are significant events that occur every 4 years, during which the number of Bitcoins awarded to miners for verifying transactions is cut in half. The most recent halving occurred in May of 2020, and the next one is set to take place in May of 2024. In this video, we will discuss the significance of past halvings and why the next halving is the most important for Bitcoin. Historically, past halvings have had a significant impact on the price of Bitcoin. In 2012, the first halving caused the price to jump from around $12 to $1,100 over the next year. In 2016, the second halving led to a price increase from around $600 to nearly $20,000 over the next 2 years. As we approach the next halving in 2024, many experts believe that Bitcoin will become, quote, the hardest asset in the world with certainty, because they reduce the number of Bitcoins that can be mined, making them more scarce and valuable. This means that it will become the best store of value, overtaking even gold as the inflation rate of Bitcoin drops to half that of gold. But why is the next halving so important? Well, it's because every halving drives a narrative shift and heightened adoption curve for Bitcoin. Aiding in the narrative shift and heightened adoption is the current banking crisis. With a global banking crisis continuing to unfold in front of our eyes, there are few options for individuals and enterprises to store their wealth. On top of that, many countries are starting to pivot away from the US dollar, looking for alternatives as they are fed up with the dependence and consequences of US monetary policy. This is evident in the recent popularity in the narrative of BRICS, a collection of emerging economies looking to break away from the global economic grip of the United States. A successful breakaway from the dollar and into a commodities-backed currency by the BRICS nations opens up the door for Bitcoin to be adopted on a massive scale. We are also entering a period where most technology adoption S-curves go vertical, meaning that it takes roughly 10 years for new technologies to go from 0 to 10% adoption, which is where Bitcoin is today, and then another 10 years to go full adoption. Given that Bitcoin usage is growing faster than the internet did in the late 90s, all signs point to the next decade being incredible for Bitcoin. So, with block rewards being cut in half, potential for hyper adoption, and the pending collapse of the banking system as we know it, what is a realistic value we can estimate for Bitcoin 1 to 2 years post-halving? The 2012 halving brought a 9,100% increase in the year following the halving, 2016 brought 3,300%, and 2020 brought 1,900%. If we apply the same trend to the 2024 halving, we can expect the price of one Bitcoin to be over $150,000. This is actually the worst case scenario in our opinion. According to several reports and experts, including a survey covered by the Bitcoinist, global adoption is expected to skyrocket in the year immediately following the halving, reaching upwards of 50%. Reports and surveys like this have led many experts to believe we can see the price of one Bitcoin land anywhere between $300,000 and $500,000. Are you prepared for the inevitable?